Okay, good morning, students. Welcome to Social Studies Hub. Today, our lesson is 13th lesson of 10th class National Liberation Movements in the Colonies. So, what is the meaning of liberation? Liberation, nothing but like freedom movement. Liberation means freedom movement. So, in which places? Colonies. Colonies means one country is under control by another country. So, our India is a colonial country to Britain. So, colonial countries fight for their freedom. In this lesson, we are discussed about China and Nigeria. So many European countries controlled most of the world, like Latin America, Africa, Asia, and so many countries in Latin America continent, Africa, Asian countries. Many countries was ruled by European powers. In this chapter, we will read about how colonial countries fight for freedom. How colonial countries fought for freedom. Here, one world map is there. In this map, some colonial countries was given. So Britain colonial countries, pink color countries are Britain colonial countries. Pink color countries are Britain colonial countries. Pink color countries are Britain colonial countries. Britain colonial countries, all pink color, like which are India, Egypt, Australia, South America, Zimbabwe. These all countries are under control of Britain. Yes, blue color countries was ruled by France. Suppose Madagascar country, Madagascar and Taiwan, Algeria, this country is Mali, so many Mauritania. These countries was ruled by France. These grey color countries are independent countries. Pink color represent colonial countries of Britain. So blue color represent colonial countries of France. But grey color shows independent countries. So China is an independent country, but it was influenced by many European powers. We will discuss about China later. So light brown color, this by Indonesia. Brown color countries are under control of Holland. So many countries was ruled by Asian countries, African countries, and American countries was ruled by European powers by 19th century. Is in the above map, colonial countries of Britain in which color? Pink color. As France colonial countries are there in blue color. So colonial countries of Holland in light brown color. Some Asia countries, African countries, independent countries. Independent countries they show in which color? Grey color. So here Ethiopia is in Africa, only one country is independent country. The country is Ethiopia. Ethiopia country is the independent country. So here in this chapter we will read about how the colonial countries faced difficult situations by the domination of European powers. So our colonial countries, Asian countries, African countries faced so many difficulties, so many difficult situations, struggles by the domination of the European powers. Most of the colonial powers are different kind of people. They spoke different languages and they follow different religion. They did not think themselves as belongs to one nation. So colonial countries people are different kinds of people are living in. In one country, many people, many language people, different kinds of people are living. They spoke different languages. They follow different religions. They did not think themselves as a one nation. మేమంతా ఒకటి కాదు అని థింక్ చేస్తున్నారు. Their colonial countries rulers, emperors, almost all the colonial countries was ruled by kings and emperors. These emperors also did not support the idea of freedom and democracy. So emperor also did not support the ideas of freedom and democracy. People are facing so many colonial countries. People are facing so many problems, so many difficulties by the domination of European powers. But the colonial countries emperor also did not support the ideas of democracy and freedom. A new movement was takes place in some many colonial countries, which was colonial countries was inspired by Europe, like nationalism, democracy, and socialism. Colonial countries was inspired by colonial countries inspired the ideas of Europe, like nationalism, democracy, and socialism. They took a shape for the movement. Colonial country started a movement. Now, in this lesson, we are discussed about the China. 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 This China country in 20th century, beginning of the 20th century, the China was ruled by Manchu dynasty. The dynasty name, what is the dynasty name in China? Manchu dynasty. Manchu dynasty was unsuccessful, or it was failed to rule the China, or it was failed to control the Western colonial powers or European powers. It was failed to control the. It was failed to defending the interest of China. It was failed to the. It was unsuccessful in defending the interest of China. So it was failed to control the Western colonial powers. Had Western colonial powers had become very powerful and influenced different parts of China. Different parts of China. Many colonial powers. So suppose this is China. So some part of the China was influenced by France. Some part of the China influenced by America. Some part of the China was influenced by America. Some part of the China was influenced by Japan. So many countries influences the China. The China was not under control in a one country. Suppose our India is under control of Britain, but China was not like that. It was under influenced by many countries, many European powers. So Western powers means European powers forced China emperors to give them economic and political concession. Economic and political concession. So already they are influencing so much part of the China. They want what European powers want economical and political concessions, such as low import tax. Whenever they are importing the things, they want low import tax. So they want immunity from Chinese laws. The Chinese laws వాళ్ళకి వర్తించదు. దే ఆర్ దే వాంట్ ఇమ్యూనిటీ ఫ్రమ్ చైనీస్ లాస్. అండ్ ఆల్సో యూరోపియన్ పవర్స్ మెయింటైన్డ్ ఆర్మ్డ్ ఫోర్సెస్ ఇన్ ద చైనా. సో these concessions, economic concessions and political concessions, whose want European powers want. They want low import tax. They want immunity from Chinese laws. They are also maintain. They will also maintain armed forces in the China. But common people. So Manchu dynasty was given these concessions to Western European countries. So common people and administrators was unhappy. So common people of China, administrators, employees, so were unhappy. So administrator tried to reform the systems. And people also again revolted against the domination of Western powers. So these concession was given by which dynasty? Manchu dynasty. What concession? The Manchu dynasty was given to the European powers: low import tax, immunity from the Chinese laws, maintaining armed forces, and also these situations made the common people was very unhappy. Administrators also very unhappy. Administration tried to reform the system in China, but common people also revolted against the domination of Western powers. Next one, establishing of the republic. So republic government. So means elected government. So republic government. The Manchu Empire was overthrown in 1911. So Manchu, the people overthrown the which dynasty? Manchu dynasty, and a republic was established by a famous leader. A leader name is Sun Yat-sen. He is the founder of modern China. Who is the founder of modern China? Sun Yat-sen. Who established a republic in China? Sun Yat-sen. Manchu dynasty was overthrown in which year? 1911. So now we are discussing about the Sun Yat-sen. Who is Sun Yat-sen? Sun Yat-sen came from very poor family. He studied in missionary schools and he introduced democracy and Christianity. What? He introduced democracy and Christianity. And also he studied medicine. He studied medicine, but he greatly concerned about the fate of China, concerned about the problems of China, and he studied the problems of China, and he designed a program. The program name is Three Principles. What? Three Principles. He studied what? Studied medicine, but he greatly concerned on about fate of China, and he studied about problems of China, and he designed a program of program program of action to the China. The program of action includes three principles, that is sun. Sun means nationalism, mean democracy, chui socialism. Sun mean chui. Sun means nationalism. Nationalism means strong feeling on their nation. Democracy, democracy. They want to establish. Sun Yat-sen want to establish democracy in the China. Sun Yat-sen want to introduce the nationalism, and Sun Yat-sen also want to introduce socialism in the country. Socially, what is the meaning of socialism? Land is owned by, property is owned by, under control of government. Land is owned by government. That is we call as socialism. So sun means nationalism, mean democracy, chui socialism. These three principles was introduced by which person? Sun Yat-sen. Who is the founder of modern China? Modern China, Sun Yat-sen. Okay, now Manchu dynasty was overthrown and a republic was declared. But this republic government was led by Sun Yat-sen. Government was led by Sun Yat-sen, but unfortunately, but unable, he was unable to came power in China. What will happen? He was unable to came to power in China. So the actually it forcefully the country was taken under control of warlords. Warlords. Republic government was led by Sun Yat-sen, but unfortunately, but unable, he did not came into power in China because the China was taken. The China was taken by forcefully. The China was taken forcefully under control of warlords. Who are the warlords? Warlords means a regional militaries. Regional militaries of China we called as warlords. Who taken the China from Sun Yat-sen? Warlords. After that, Sun Yat-sen established a new party. The party name is called as Guyo Mindang Party, or also called as National People's Party, or also called as Kuomintang Party or KMT Party. Who established KMT Party? Sun Yat-sen. So, KMT Party another name is Guyo Mindang Party. It is also called as National People's Party. Now, we will discuss about this party, how the party organizations, programs, we will discuss later. Now, before that, a famous movement, May 4th movement in 1919. So, many Chinese people, why? Many Chinese people demonstrated or protested in Beijing city against the Versailles Peace Conference, against to Versailles Peace Conference. What will happen? Why China was demonstrating or protested against to the Versailles Treaty Conference? Because China during First World War, China was ally of Britain. In the First World War, China also participated behalf of the Britain in the First World War. So China loses its places. China places was occupied by the Japan, but China did not get back the territories which was taken by the Japan. These protested turned as this movement turned in this movement we called as May 4th movement. So what? Why May 4th movement was happened or occurred? Because China was ally of victorious country's side. So during First World War, China participated behalf of the Britain. Japan occupied most of the places from China. After Versailles Treaty Conference, China had to hand over the Japan had to hand over the places to China, but Japan delayed. Japan did not given the places to China. So now China was protested against to the Versailles Treaty Conference in 1919 May 4th. That's why it is called as May 4th movement. Okay. Now other demands of May 4th movement. Actually, Japan did not given the territorial places to China. That's why China was protested against to the Versailles Treaty Conference. That the main reason for May 4th movement is China did not get back their territories from Japan. So another demand is also is there. The China people they attacked on old traditions. They attacked old tradition. They did not want old traditions. They want new traditions. They attack China people attack old traditions and save China through modern science, democracy, and nationalism. And China people they wanted to remove the foreigners, and because most of the resources was under control by foreigners. So they want to remove which people? Foreigners. They want to attack which traditions? Old tradition. They want to what? Save China through modern science and democracy and nationalism. And China people they wanted leave the foreigners from our China because they controlling countries resources. And also China people asked many changes in the society. China people want many changes. That is they want what? Simple language and script. And also they want abolishing the subordination of women. Abolishing the subordination of women, and also practicing of food binding. So what is the meaning of abolishing the subordination? Subordination means already you know. పాలిగమీ. పాలిగమీ మీన్స్ ఒక పాలిగమీ అంటే తెలుసు కదా మీకు. పాలిగమీ అంటే ఒక ఆయనకి ఎక్కువ మంది వైఫ్స్ ఉండడం పాలిగమీ. సో ఇలా పాలిగమీ అనేటటువంటిది ఎక్కడ ఉంది ప్రాక్టీస్ అనేది చైనాలో ఉంది. దీన్ని అబాలిష్ చేయాలి, క్యాన్సల్ చేయాలి. అబాలిషింగ్ ద సబార్డినేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఉమెన్ అండ్ ఆల్సో ప్రాక్టీసింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఫుడ్ బైండింగ్. నాట్ ఇట్ దిస్ ఈస్ ఫుడ్ బైండింగ్, దిస్ ఈస్ ఫుడ్ బైండింగ్. ఫుడ్ బైండింగ్ అంటే కాళ్ళు కట్టేస్తారట. కాళ్ళు ఎవరైతే పెద్దగా పాదాలు ఉంటాయో, ఫుట్స్ ఉంటాయో వాళ్ళని పెళ్లి చేసుకోరట. అలా అలా కొందరిని ఎవరిదైతే పాదాలు పెద్దగా ఉంటాయో వాళ్ళ కాళ్ళు పెరగకుండా కట్టేసేవాళ్ళట. అది సో ఏ ఈవిల్ ప్రాక్టీస్ ఈస్ దేర్ ఇన్ చైనా. సో the China people they want abolishing the subordination of women, and also they want to cancel the practicing of food binding. They are also demanded equality in marriages, and also economic development to end poverty ni remove. Most of the Chinese people was dependent on agriculture. So most of the people were in the poverty. Most of the people are poor. So that's why they want economic development to end the poverty. So these are the other demands for the May 4th movement. What are the demands? They want to attack. They are attacked on old tradition. They want a new tradition like they are modern science, democracy, nationalism, and also revolutionaries or China people. They want to leave the foreigners from our China because they are controlling countries' resources. China people asked many changes. That is simple language and script, abolishing the subordination of women, and practicing of food binding. They are also demanding equality in marriages, and also they are demanding economic development to end poverty, to remove poverty. After the revolution, to unite the country, to bring stability in China, two parties was emerged. Already we discussed about KMT. KMT party was established by Sun Yat-sen. Sun Yat-sen is the founder of modern China. Kuomintang party, or also called as Guomindang party, or also called as National People's Party. The second party is CCP party, China Communist Party. These two parties wanted to unite these two parties have different ideologies, but these two parties had to fight for unity of the China. So now we are discussing about the first party. The party name is Kuomintang party, or also called as Guomindang party. These party followed political philosophy based on Sun Yat-sen ideas. This party followed Sun Yat-sen ideas. What are the Sun Yat-sen ideas? Sun mean Chui, nationalism, democracy, socialism, and And the ideas of Senate and other ideas is control the capitalist system or remove the capitalist system. They want, they need, they want Senate and want to equalize the land, or they want socialism. The people who does not have land, land will be distributed to poor people. So these ideas were Senate. They identified, Senate identified, or Comintang identified, Comintang Party identified needs of China, great needs of China. That is clothing, food, housing, transportation. Clothing, food, housing, transportation. So these needs was identified by the Comintang Party. So after death of Sun Yat-sen, the leader of Comintang Party is Chiang Kai-shek. Chiang Kai-shek. After death of the Sun Yat-sen, who is the leader of Comintang Party? Chiang Kai-shek. Chiang Kai-shek is the leader of Comintang Party. Chiang Kai-shek, after came into power, Chiang Kai-shek launched a military campaign in China to control the warlords and eliminate the communists. Chiang Kai-shek launched what? Military campaign to control which people? Warlords. Who are the warlords? Warlords are the regional leaders of China who had forcefully taken control and authority. Warlords are the regional leaders of China who had forcefully taken control and authority. These are the local leaders వాళ్ళు. Local leaders ఫోర్స్ఫుల్గా మా కంట్రోల్లోనే ఉండాలి చైనా అని అంటున్నారు. నెక్స్ట్, చియాంగ్ వాంటెడ్ టు మిలిటరైజ్ ద నేషన్ బికాస్ ఈ లాంచ్డ్ మిలిటరీ కాంపైన్. అందరూ మిలిటరీ వాళ్ళే ఉండాలి. ఎట్లనే మిలిటరీ వాళ్ళ ఎవరైనా ఏదైనా అంటే మిలిటరీ వాళ్ళని పంపించి వాళ్ళని సపరేట్ చేస్తారు. అదా Chiang Kai-shek wanted to militarize the nation. He said that people must develop. Chiang Kai-shek said people must and should develop the habit and instinct. Habit and instinct for unified behavior. Chiang Kai-shek wanted to develop habit and instinct for unified behavior. ఏం చెప్తున్నాడు చియాంగ్ కైసెక్? హ్యాబిట్, ఇన్స్టింక్ట్ బిహేవియర్, మీకు స్వతహాగా మన కంట్రీని యూనిఫై చేసేటటువంటి బిహేవియరు మీకు ఉండాలి. సో కేఎంటీ పార్టీ హ్యాడ్ బేస్ ఇన్ అర్బన్ ఏరియాస్ ఆఫ్ చైనా. అంటే కేఎంటీ పార్టీ హ్యావ్ సపోర్ట్ ఇన్ ఓన్లీ అర్బన్ ఏరియాస్. ఇట్ వాజ్ నాట్ సపోర్ట్ ఇన్ రూరల్ ఏరియాస్. It was basis. It was strong in only rural areas. It was weak in rural areas. It was strong in only urban areas. The urban areas, in urban areas, most of the industries was located, but industrial growth was very slow. Industrial growth were very slow. By 1919, working class people, around 5 lakh people are working in Shanghai. The cities became a center of modern growth. So most of the industries, most of the industries were located in urban areas. So how many people were working in the industries? 5 lakhs people. So they work 5 lakhs people were working in which city? Shanghai city. Cities are center for modern growth. Only small percentage of people were employed in modern industries. Only most of the people are there in China, but only small percentage of people are worked in the modern industries. They worked as shipbuilding. Most were petty urbanities. Only most of the people are middle class people. In China we called as middle class xiao shemin. Middle class వాళ్ళని చైనాలో ఏమంటారు? xiao shemin. Okay, most of the people were middle class people. They are working in the industries as like shipbuilding workers, traders, shopkeepers. As urban workers, particularly women also working in urban areas, they getting very low wages. Their working conditions also very harsh, very bad. Women organized themselves to trade unions. Women started what? Trade unions. Trade unions demanded. Trade unions demanded. They fight against to the long working hours and working conditions. And the women also, they want rights. Women also they want to build family based on their equality. And also they are discussing about love and romance. So in this time, many university was started. Many schools and universities was came up with the help of social and cultural change to help the change the culture and social in China. So many schools and university was came up. So the famous university was started. The university name is Peking University. It was started in 1902, and after that, journalism is also started. So Chiang Kai-shek. Now we are discussing about the Chiang Kai-shek. We already discussed about the how urban areas are there, how the people are working in China, what problems the people are facing in urban. So we are discussing. Now we are discussing about Chiang Kai-shek. Chiang Kai-shek is the conservative. What is the meaning of conservative? Conservative means he believed old traditions. పాతకాలం నమ్ముతారు. He believed superstitions. He believed old traditions. He encouraged women to have four virtues. Every woman have to four virtues. That is chastity. Chastity means prativatyam. ప్రతిపత్యం అంటే తెలుసు కదా, ప్యూరిటీ ఆఫ్ ఉమెన్, ప్యూరిటీ ఆఫ్ ద గర్ల్. సో ప్యూర్గా ఉండాలి గర్ల్, అది అమ్మాయి, ఉమెన్. చస్టిటీ అపియరెన్స్, రూపం బాగుండాలి. స్పీచ్, మాట బాగుండాలి. వర్క్, పని. సో అండ్ చియాంగ్ కైసెక్ థాట్ దట్ ఉమెన్స్ రోల్ షుడ్ బి లిమిటెడ్ టు ద హౌస్ హోల్డ్. ఉమెన్స్ రోల్ ఎక్కడి వరకే ఉండాలి, ఇంట్లోనే ఉండాలట. And also Chiang Kai-shek decides even the length of hemiline. Chiang Kai-shek decides even the length of hemiline, that is frock worn by women. ఇతను ఉమెన్స్ ఎంత ఫ్రాక్ వేసుకోవాలని ఈయన డిసైడ్ చేశాడట. అండ్ ఆల్సో చియాంగ్ కైసెక్ సప్రెస్డ్ ద ట్రేడ్ యూనియన్స్ అండ్ ట్రేడ్ యూనియన్ మూమెంట్స్. హీ ఎంకరేజ్డ్ ఫ్యాక్టరీ ఓనర్స్. కేఎంటీ పార్టీ వాజ్ ఫెయిల్డ్ టు యునైట్ ద కంట్రీ. So KMT party was not implemented the ideas of Sun Yat-sen. So KMT party ignored peasants, farmers, and rising social inequalities. And Chiang Kai-shek KMT party ignored farmers, social inequalities, and they suppressed trade unions. They encouraged factory owners. They did not give land to landless farmers. So Sun Yat-sen ideas was not implemented. So he imposed, in order to saving the Chinese people, Chiang Kai-shek imposed military orders on the people. Rather than addressing the problems of people, he imposed military orders. KMT party was fall down. KMT party leader Sun Yat-sen ideas was not implemented. KMT party was failed. So now after that we will discuss about another party. The party name is CCP party, China Communist Party.